The box was small, wrapped in ivory paper, tied with a satin ribbon that matched the color of her eyes. Green, deceitful, expensive. She looked at it the way someone looks at something diseased. Then, before anyone could blink, she laughed. Cheap, filthy trash, and she threw it at my face. The box hit the floor. The sound it made wasn't loud, but it was enough. Enough to make every guest at her birthday party turn, smirk, whisper. Her parents smiled like it was a scene rehearsed for them. I didn't move. She waited for me to fight back, to explain myself, to apologize, to bleed in public for her entertainment. Instead, I just watched her. The smile on her lips, perfect, poisonous, the kind of smile that hides the rot underneath. I remember thinking, so this is it. This is the moment it ends. But I didn't say a word. I simply turned, walked to the valet, took back the BMW keys from the attendant, and handed her the small folded paper inside my pocket, the investment transfer notice. From now on, I said, quiet, calm, absolute, you're on your own. She laughed again, thought I was joking, but jokes have punchlines. This was a funeral. The truth didn't start that night. It began weeks earlier, with a silence I couldn't name. Late calls, locked screens, laughter that didn't belong to me. The smell of another man's cologne lingering on her scarf. She said it was perfume samples, said I was paranoid, said I was acting insecure again. Maybe I was. I had built her world, her apartment, her company shares, her luxury. I thought that made me safe. But security is a lie men tell themselves to avoid seeing what's in front of them. That night, after she called me cheap, I drove home alone. The house we shared felt different, like a museum filled with artifacts of a life already dead. Her glass of wine on the counter, lipstick stain bleeding on the rim. I stared at it for a long time. I didn't break it. I didn't rage. I just listened. To the hum of the refrigerator, the ticking clock, the echo of her laughter from earlier, and something inside me, something patient, calculating, finally woke up. If she wanted to play a game, I would play it better. I started small. The next morning, I synced her iCloud. Quietly, legally, efficiently. She'd forgotten I was the one who set up her accounts. Passwords were sentimental things. Her mother's birthday, the day we met. I knew them all. I didn't look for proof. I looked for patterns. The same number, saved under different names. Messages deleted seconds after sending. And photos, carefully cropped, but not enough. His watch reflected in the glass, his shadow near her shoulder. I didn't need to know his name. I already knew what he was. The kind of man who measures worth by conquest. She had become one. At dinner, I said nothing. She talked about her meetings, her stress. She smiled too easily. I smiled back. Inside, I was rearranging pieces on a board only I could see. 2 weeks later, I sent the jewelry for appraisal. The diamond ring she claimed was from me. It wasn't. Different cut, different receipt. Bought 3 days after she told me she lost hers. The pieces kept fitting, cleanly, coldly. Every night I lay beside her, feeling the distance between us like a glacier forming under the sheets. She would turn, rest her head on my chest, and whisper, "You're so quiet these days." And I would whisper back, "Just tired." But I wasn't tired. I was preparing for the silence that comes after the storm. The truth arrived in a white envelope. DNA results. She had insisted on keeping that stray blonde hair off her coat because it was from a friend's baby. It wasn't. The test confirmed what my gut had already known. The baby wasn't mine. The one she claimed she miscarried months ago was his. I sat at my desk, staring at the report until the letters blurred. Then I laughed. Not out of pain, not even anger. Relief. The kind you feel when a lie finally stops breathing. That night, I came home early. She was dressing for a dinner I wasn't invited to. A shimmering silver gown, the kind she used to wear for me. I handed her the envelope. "What's this?" she asked. "Proof," I said. She opened it, read the first line, stopped. Her reflection trembled in the mirror, but her voice stayed soft. "You went through my things?" "I went through the truth," I replied. Her face broke then, cracks forming in porcelain. She reached for me. I stepped back. And for the first time, she looked small, powerless, exactly as fragile as the lies she'd built around us. I didn't shout. I didn't demand explanations. I simply handed her another envelope, the one containing her financials, bank accounts, property documents, transfers, all reversed. The apartment was in my name. The business shares reverted. The BMW repossessed this morning. Her eyes widened. "You can't do this." "I already did." She tried to smile, but it trembled. "You're destroying me." I shook my head. "No, you destroyed yourself. I'm just turning off the lights." She crumbled into a chair. Tears finally came. Real ones, maybe, but they meant nothing now. I walked to the door, paused, looked back once. "You wanted freedom," I said. "Now you have it." Her parents would learn soon enough that their little empire, the one I financed, was also gone, quietly liquidated. Everything she touched turned hollow, exactly like her love. I left the city that night. No suitcase, no explanations, just silence. The roads stretched out ahead like an open wound, clean, empty. For the first time in years, I felt light. She would wake tomorrow to find nothing left. No car, no company, no money. Only the same emptiness she once gifted me. I parked at the edge of the old pier, watched the dawn bleed over the water. Her voice lingered in my head for a moment. Sharp, mocking, alive. Then it faded, replaced by the sound of waves. I thought of the box she threw at me, the cheap, filthy trash. Inside it, it had been a bracelet, handcrafted, simple, real, just like the man she never wanted. I smiled, small and cold. Some gifts, I realized, aren't meant to be kept. They're meant to be returned.